Welcome back to another section. In our course, we are going to start learning Microsoft Azure. In simple terms, we can say Microsoft Azure is Microsoft's cloud computing platform. What does that mean? Let us explain it in a simple way. So, instead of buying servers and networking hardware in your organization, for your data center, then stacking into your data center. Microsoft Azure allows you to rent IT resources over the internet. So, for an administrator point of view, Azure means you don't need to wait for hardware delivery. There is no physical server for maintenance. If you want a server, you can just log in through Microsoft Azure portal and create a server in 5 minutes or less than that. And the scalability, if you want to add a memory or you need to add CPU, no need to wait for the another delivery time. You can simply increase the memory from the Azure portal, and it all reduced to days instead of months if you think the real procurement process and delivery process. So you can think of Azure as Microsoft running a massive data center, and you simply consume what you need as an IT administrator. What comes to your mind when you think about challenges in the on-premises setup? One of the biggest challenge is uptime, the service availability. When you think about uptime, then you also need to think about high availability, disaster recovery solutions, etc. The other one is security. Then you have to invest a lot in firewalls and antivirus softwares. Coming to the scalability, buying other additional hardwares by thinking of some projected resource utilization, you are adding up more and more cost to the IT infrastructure. But you can solve all this by removing the physical infrastructure responsibilities and hardware. You don't need to worry about uptime, security, and scalability because those responsibilities are offloaded to Microsoft Azure. So, Microsoft Azure is going to provide you a built in redundancy and it offers an enterprise level security. It allows you to scale resources as you need up or down instantly. Now, let's discuss about the traditional IT with cloud. In our traditional IT, if we need a server, what we do, we buy a hardware like a Dell or HP servers. Then we rack into our data center rack and then we install Windows operating system or VMware or Linux based on our requirement. Then we configure the network, then we maintain it for years. This is what we do in the on-premises. But coming to Microsoft Azure, you mostly click with your mouse to create virtual machines. Then you select at the settings of virtual machine configuration to select your memory, CPU, and storage. And the server is going to be ready in minutes. So you still manage the operating system, and Microsoft takes the management of the physical hardware. Now let's talk about the cloud service models. There are different type of cloud services. We can say the cloud service models are differentiated based upon the responsibility that you and the service provider shares. For example, Microsoft Azure or Amazon or Oracle, etc. There are three cloud service models listed here: infrastructure as a service, the first one; platform as a service, the second one; and you can also call with the short form like IaaS or PaaS or SaaS for the software as a service. So the services are delivered in these three main models. You can get it as an infrastructure as a service or platform as a service or software as a service. As I said in the beginning, these models are differentiated by the responsibility that you as an administrator and the cloud service providers share. Now we will break each one to simplest way to understand it with by connecting to some real life example. Let's start with the first cloud service model, that is infrastructure as a service. So in an infrastructure as a service, Azure provides you the infrastructure and you manage almost everything by yourself. So we can say this is one of the closest model to our traditional server administration, because in our traditional data center, once you set up everything, you will be managing it from your side, like OS, patching, application, and the hardware will remain in the data center. So the same way, infrastructure as a service model, Microsoft Azure provides you the virtual machine, virtual network, and disks, and the storage. From your side, you will install Windows Server or a Linux server, the virtual machine. You can configure roles, you can apply patches, and secure the system. So, in a summary, you get the virtual machine and you access it through RDP from your side to the Microsoft data center, and you manage it. This is closest to the traditional server administrator, and it is called as infrastructure as a service cloud model. If you want to relate this infrastructure as a service to a real life example, we can say, think of an infrastructure as a service like renting an empty house. So Microsoft gives you the building, you decide what goes inside, you maintain the interior. So if a Windows update fails or disk space runs out, you fix it. That is why infrastructure as a service is more popular with the system administrators. Now come to the platform as a service cloud model. So here with the platform as a service, like you can see as I scratched here, the OS and the patching responsibility shifted to the Azure providers. So here Azure have more responsibility than what we saw in the infrastructure as a server. Here Azure manage hardware, data center, power and cooling, OS, and patching, and your responsibility remains to the application and security. So you just focus on your application, not this server. So this is even offloading more responsibility to Microsoft Azure, and you just focus on your application. That means you are not more logging into the operating system using RDP. You don't install any updates. Instead, Azure handles the scalability and availability automatically. To connect this to a real life example, we can say it is like renting a furnished apartment. So you don't worry about the furnitures, you don't repair the plumbing, you just use the space. So as an admin, your role shifts from server management to application and its access management. Now let's talk about the third one, that is software as a service. We can also call it as SaaS. So SaaS is the highest level of abstraction. You simply use the software. No servers, no OS, no patches. As an administrator, your responsibility is mainly user access, security policy, and compliance. So Microsoft 365, you can consider it as a SaaS because your responsibility as a Microsoft 365 administrator is user access, security policy, and compliance. You are not handling the below layer of a mailbox database or the database availability, etc. In a real life example, it is like you're staying in a hotel. You don't care how much the building cost or how it is constructed or maintained. You just use your room as a service. So the CRM tools are another example. The collaboration tools like Zoom, Gmail, or other examples of your software as a service cloud model. So here is the simple responsibility comparison. If you are using infrastructure as a service, then your responsibility starts from the operating system, application, and users. Microsoft take care of the hardware. If you're using platform as a service, one of the example for this service is Azure Web Apps, where you only take care of your application and user access management. The OS and the hardware are under the responsibility of Microsoft. So that is called platform as a service. Coming to the software as a service, the hardware, operating system, and application. more responsibility offloaded to Microsoft, and your responsibility is to manage the users and access. And this is we can relate this to Microsoft Teams, Office 365, Gmail, Zoom. These are all software as a service. So going from infrastructure as a service to software as a service, so you can see that you're losing the control, and you have less maintenance and less administrator overhead, but also you have less flexibility. Now you know about different cloud models. Now the question is when to use all these models. So use infrastructure as a service when you need more control, or you have legacy applications and you cannot install it on a platform as a service model. So you have a old .NET application, you want to migrate it to cloud, but there is no platform supporting that version. So you can use infrastructure as a service by spinning a virtual machine, and you just install the application on the server like you do in the on premises. But if you're using a modern application like modern platforms like microservices, containers, then platform as a service is going to be one of the best choice. You can use platform as a service like Kubernetes or Docker platforms to implement your application, and that will have less overhead on you as the more responsibility goes to Microsoft. Now coming to the software as a service, so when you want to ready to use business services for your company without making a complex IT setup, then you can think of having software as a service. So Gmail or Microsoft Office 365, you don't think what is even running behind it, right? You just use it, you just consume it. So such kind of services is what you're looking for. Or another example is you want a invoicing software. You can get an invoicing software from internet. You just need to use it as a software. You don't need to think about the infrastructure behind it. So such kind of application requirement can be handled from the software as a service use cases. So the key takeaway for administrators is cloud does not remove the administrator role. It changes it. What changes you get? The admin move from a hardware maintenance to an identity secure automation and governance. So understanding infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service is the foundation for any IT professional who gonna step into the cloud career. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.